So my generation. Okay, so all right. So they're old.
Well, yeah, they were a
Yeah.
60s band. So they had albums out. They were like, but they obviously, as the 60s went on and people changed and things changed, the music changed, then obviously Pete Townsend then decided, I'm going to write something different. And so he wrote, with his knowledge of the mods, he wrote this rock opera that then came out in the 70s when the mods were probably not as, they were more of a 60s thing.
Relevant.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, okay, interesting. So yeah, so it's your top 5 albums then. So should we move on to the movie and rank this?
Do you want to rate the album? Would you listen to the album again? Did you enjoy it? Because I wondered like whether you would enjoy it, because it's not. It's more of a. And the funny thing is, when you see the Who as the 60s mod band, they've all got the haircuts, the clothing. When they actually, by the 70s, they've all gone very much their own kind of way. Like if you see footage of Roger Daltrey, he's got long hair. He's wearing crazy clothes. His chest is out. They're very much a rock band rather than a mod band.
Yeah, okay. The album itself, I enjoyed it, but I won't seek it out to listen to it again. Again, it falls into the same problem as the other episode. With definitely, maybe it's that old. I'm just,
even though they're 20 plus years apart.
I'm too ADHD brain. Like you consider that rock? That's just still slow to me. You know what I mean? Like I just need something. I don't know whether this is the production or the actual music itself, but it's just too slow for me.
Really?
Yeah, I know. Don't get me wrong. It was good. Like listening to the car, I was like, yeah, okay. Like at no point was I like, fucking hell. Well, I lied. There was one point during Quadrophenia when I was like, why isn't this lyrics kicking in? But then I was like, okay, there must be something more to the album. That's when I had that moment. But yeah, like there wasn't.
I can see where you would be going, because I know there's like you hear the train going past and you hear like the ocean and all of those sort of bits and the little melodies.
Yeah.
And it takes a bit of building. And like you said, it starts off one thing, it changes to something else in the middle. It doesn't. Like I say, it does tell a story. But you were right when you said like it's a rock theatre.
And that's the biggest thing. I was literally going like, this is weird. It's not like an album. It's more like it belongs, like a theatre sort of technical. It's trying to be more than just songs.
Yeah.
And then when I watched the movie and then when I watched the interview and the guy literally said in the behind the scenes thing, like he wrote like a rock opera, I'm like, that's exactly literally what I said. Like it's some rock theatre opera sort of thing.
I don't know why, and I've seen a few bits on like documentaries about Quadrophenia and all the rest of it. I don't actually know why it took them 5 years, where the idea then came from to make a movie out of it. But yeah, well, what a movie!
Yeah, we'll start on the movie, but before that, we'll rate this. What do we do? Is 1 to 10? That's no joke. It's 1 to 10.
What's 1?
Oh, 1 is rubbish. 10 is brilliant.
Yes, that is the catchphrase.
We'll put that on the shirt. Actually, that's actually not bad.
Yeah.
It's 1 to 10, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give this one. It's hard. I'm gonna give it a 6.
What did you give? Definitely, maybe. I believe that may have been a 6.
6.
Because
the 6 is. Let me justify this. Don't attack me. Don't attack me in the comments, Mum.
I was not. I was on Did
you think I'd like this? As in, did you think I'd be like, oh, changed my life?
Nah, because you're right. Because you're quite set in your ways in your music. So I like to take you out your little box a little bit and go. I mean, you're probably not as set in your ways as me, maybe. But I knew someone's killing a dog out there, aren't they?
Yeah, that is a dog. Just
yeah. They're not really killing it. It's my dog. It's just whinging. I should say for Mrs. Webb, the original OG, original grandma, OG. Outside. She's actually outside. She's here, not in the building, outside the building. She can come in if she wants.
She has to ring a bell.
Yeah. She can come in if she wants. She's chosen to go out there and enjoying the sun. She's away from the English winter. We'll get back to it. She has spoken to Preston about his language.
Yeah. Sorry, Mrs. Webb.
Yeah, we tried to get her on camera, but
too expensive.
Far too expensive.
Her agent, our agents.
Speak to my agent. Too much. But she's out there now, beating a dog to death. No, the dog is whinging.
Shut up, they're trying to record a podcast.
She's looking after the dogs. Right, let's go back to it. So, did I think it would blow? I thought it was difficult. I wanted you to watch. I thought it was clever because, obviously, like we've said, the soundtrack came out, or the idea was a record, and then it was a film, which is very strange. I don't know of anything else that's ever been done like that, unless Tommy, which was also done by The Who, which came after this, which is Pinball Wizard.
Pitbull Wizard.
Pinball Wizard. You would know that song, Pinball Wizard.
That sounds something like out of Adventure Time.
Deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays a mean pinball. Probably not politically correct.
What you just told me?
Probably not politically correct now.
Well, you said it
when you
on
say
the internet
it.
forever.
Yeah, when you say it. But that's what it was. He was a deaf, dumb, blind kid, but he could play the machines, the pinball machines, and he was brilliant at it. And there was a whole. Why are you laughing at that? There's a whole. That's another rock opera. That's another bit of Townsend's magic. Not for me though. I didn't really. I didn't go for it. It wasn't.
But this album.
Yep. So that's why I thought it was clever, and I thought.
100%. And at the end of the day, we got to pick something. So might as well just.
And I wanted you to see the film as well because you would never. That is something you would never fall over. You would never trip up one day and go.
What's this?
With your other half, let's watch a 1978 movie about the mods and the rockers in a country where you know nothing about.
100%.
Yeah. And now you do. So your mind has been open.
Every episode we record, I'm getting more knowledge.
See, that's the thing. I give you definitely maybe. I give you the commitments. I give you Quadrophenia. You give me Dungeons and Dragons and Mayday Parade.
Like I said, mate, I just threw the dart on the board and picked it up.
I don't want to go back to it because people will get bored. But I'm still furious.
What do you... All right, you pimp jester.
Yeah, just a pimp.
Just a pimp.
Yeah.
So what are you rating the album?
What do I rate the album? It's in my top 5. It's a 9. I love it. Can't get enough of it. Every time I listen to it, I enjoy it.
You're a high scorer.
For the things I like.
All right then. Shall we go? So you're giving it a.
Excuse me. Bleep that out.
A 9. I'm giving it a 6 because it's one.
Very much like we did for Definitely Maybe.
It's the same category where I'm giving it more than halfway because it is good, but it's just not for me.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And a 7, I feel like I would add that to the playlist, but I'm not going to do that to any of these.
Okay.
Songs.
Yeah.
So 9 and 7 for Quadrophenia.
A 7, you said.
6.
So weak.
9.
You said so weak. I'm not going to argue with you because
9 and 6 for the Quadrophenia,
which is the same as,
but not the soundtrack.
What do you mean? Not the soundtrack. It's
not
the soundtrack. Yeah, that's the soundtrack.
Making it clear for the viewers.
That's the soundtrack of the movie. So,
and that's got an anime ass photo. I love that photo. It looks sick.
And this one, is the original. But they're both the original records. Yeah. And I also have, just to show you, because I am a massive Quadrophenia geek, this is the book, Quadrophenia. Just get off your phone, it's a bit rude.
Say again, sorry, hang on.
This is the book.
As in the story, the movie written in
a great rock album, now a stunning film.
And it's the novelization of the film.
Yep.
Interesting.
And
you read it?
When that came out, I have never read it. Look how yellow the pages are and all the rest of it.
But you've never read it?
I've never read it. 99 pence. $2 back in the day when this came
Oh,
out.
that's worth a fucking $100,000.
It is to me. You won't get many of them though. I had to
Laminate that.
yeah. Dogs are annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little
Right.
Mrs. Webb's not doing her job. She's gone to the pool and it's just left them and wandered off. It's probably annoying her.
Yeah, she's like, oh, this dog's allowed.
I didn't come all the way for this.
All right, so you want to move on to the movie?
Yes, let's.
All right, cool.
Have you got any quizzes for me this week?
No, you're meant to quiz me.
What? But I can't, like, what can I quiz you on? You don't even know who the Who are, so
Hang on,
your knowledge
hang on.
is...
So, Webby, I'm actually getting a phone call at the moment.
Are you really?
Hang on.
This is a gag.
Hang on, Webby. Just hang on for me.
This is a gag.
Hang on.
This gag is taking too long.
Let me
You
just
tried
do
to
this.
do something good.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, Chris, mate. Is this you?
Yes, Preston, it's me, Christopher Welkin.
Oh, no way, Christopher Walken. That's crazy.
But it sounds strangely like you.
No, what? I can't believe that. How you going? How you going, Chris? Now's not a good time at the moment. I'm actually recording a podcast.
This is really bad. Edit this out.
About Webby with about quadrophenia. Let me just see it. Hang on.
Yeah, I saw it on the weekend.
Oh, so you have seen the movie Quadrophenia, have you?
Has he been...
I saw it on the weekend.
Oh, okay.
Has he been unwell? Christopher
Yeah,
Walken? Is he
yeah.
poorly?
So, he watched Quadrophenia on the weekend. What'd you think about it?
To be honest with you, I found the movie derivative.
Oh, derivative. That's weird, Chris. I don't know why.
Are you
why
sure
you'd
that's
think
not
that.
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh, hang on. Do you want to ask him any questions while we got Christopher Walken here, mate?
This is awful. We've not discussed this.
Do you want to ask Christopher Walken?
I don't know whether I want my name to this.
No. All
Well,
right.
it doesn't sound like Christopher Walken. It sounds a little bit like a...
So, Chris, did you want to say anything to Webby?
Webby, you garbage.
Oh, whoa! There's no need for that, Christopher Walken. All right, mate. We'll leave it there, mate. Hey, no, Christopher, go away. Oh, I'll hang up him. Sorry, mate.
How long are we working on that,
I'm
mate?
sorry about that, mate. Chris, ever since we got 1.7 thousand views on one of our shorts,
Fluke.
Phone's been off the charts, mate.
How long are we working on that, gag?
That was Christopher Walken.
Was it? Because it sounded like either Christopher Walken's been very sick or Arnold
I heard there's
Schwarzenegger.
something going around.
Yeah, with a head cold,
Yeah, ear infections.
ear infections. Yeah.
Yeah. So give him.
Is that it? Was that this week's? The quiz was much better.
What do you mean, Gary? I don't know what you're talking about.
That is awful. Edit that. Get it out. Get that straight out.
Well, why don't you do something for the show? I can't believe Christopher Walken, man. I'll see who else we got next week. Eh? That's crazy.
Well, I imagine it will be one of your other many impressions. Maybe Donald Trump is one of yours. Mark Wahlberg, you like doing him. All of these things annoy me.
Is it wrong that I've already recorded all of them?
Have you really?
No.
You probably have, haven't you?
Shall we move on to the movie?
Yes.
All right. So, I got a lot to say about this movie.
Have you?
I do.
What? And you didn't say you put that Walken bit in instead of saying it?
It was Christopher Walken calling me. I don't know what you're talking about.
So,
I don't know whether I didn't have time to. As I just took notes down as I was.
When did you watch it? Because we haven't seen each other all week, and you did send me a text saying words. There was a swear word in there, so I won't.
The night before that, so Wednesday, I think.
Yeah, and I didn't know how to it because I just wrote interesting. You said I'm not going to tell you much over text, but this movie, man, or some words to that effect with a swear word in there. Well, I can't repeat it. She's in earshot. You're already in trouble, and so I didn't know how to take that. Don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. But I thought, well, we'll just see how it plays out.
So
I think you would like it. I
I was taking notes as I was watching it. Do you want me just to read the notes exactly as I've written them, and then we'll talk about it later?
Yeah.
Okay.
It does look old, I must admit.
This is page 1 of the notes.
When it started, I thought, because it's very grainy.
So I said, opening scene, artsy versus necessity. Long still shot with the sunset. It was basically the sunset and him walking towards the camera.
But now, do you understand that?
I do now, because that was the Brighton the previous year. But yeah, well,
Not the previous year.
Well, yeah,
No.
he just came back from that.
Well, it's not the previous year.
What was the previous time? Like he just came back from that.
It was like a few days later. That's where he has the breakdown. So he's basically...
No, that's from last time he was at Brighton, wasn't it? So he's coming back from Brighton, and then all the things about going back to Brighton because he wants to go back to the sunset. That's what I interpreted that as.
Okay, so let me explain it. So at the end of the movie...
Stop! We'll get there later.
Well, you don't get it then.
We'll get to that.
The start of the movie is him walking back off the cliffs after just letting the bike go.
Right. Okay. Because that answers another question that I did want to.
Did he go over the edge with the bike?
That's what this movie has. Two different endings. One that spoiler alert from here, and we are talking about some pretty heavy themes here about the S word. I don't think we can say the S word on fucking on YouTube.
Can you not?
I don't think we can.
Oh.
So we have to try and be careful for that one there.
All right.
He offs himself.
But he doesn't know.
But here's the thing. I rewound it, and it has two different endings.
Mm.
If he did off himself, then that's one ending. But if he didn't, then it's a completely different ending of him letting go of their maturity and growing up and deciding to just do anything new. But we'll cover that when we get to the end.
Okay. Yeah. Let's get back to that because I have obviously some thoughts on that.
If you don't mind.
I don't mind.
And then so that was the first shot.
Yes, and it is quite. I must admit, I've watched it.
That's because it's into the sun and a lot of light.
It's quite grainy though, isn't it? And yeah.
So that very first shot, I was like, "Why is it such a long shot?" And then I was like, "Okay, so it's obviously an artsy."
It's nearly 50 years
straight
old.
Away, an artsy film.
Mm.
The next one, the next notes I took down was when they're in the pub, the next scene, whatever, and they're dancing.
Yeah.
And I've written down, it clocked to me that the songs are long on the album with the bridges, like long music performance because people actually dance to them. Like when that band are performing, they would like literally just be playing it and people would dance. I'm like, oh, that's why the songs are long. Like they're meant to be played live and people are meant to dance to them, not like radio songs to now where it's just vocals. So that was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. And that again, that's another piece that fell into the puzzle when that's why the soundtrack was like a lot of music as opposed to vocals and songs as well. So okay, that's pretty good. The next note was, why were the dicks in the bath? Like, why did we have to see two dicks?
Yeah, it's true because
that took me back. I was like, whoa, it's full on, but it's not like it's not for comedy's sake or anything. It's just it's necessity, isn't it? It's like they had to do it because they're like, well, let's just do it. Like, what's the, you know what I mean? So
what do you think about it? I mean, like I say, 1978, and they didn't mind showing two naked men in separate baths. But what a great scene.
Yeah, you're right. Seeing it, that confused me.
Well, I thought it would because you would be like,
is he at home and then
yes, and that was a thing.
Yeah, like a public bath area. I was like, what the hell?
Public baths, yeah, because people didn't have baths at home. They would still have had outside toilets. A lot of houses.
That was like, well, this is really weird. But then I was like, oh,
so they had to go there for, once a week to get a decent wash.
Lifestyle, which then led me to my next note. This guy's gone to a bath, a diner, a suit shop, and grocery shops in one day. That's a lot of things to do in one day. Were the days longer back then? Like, what the hell? That's
they didn't have. They only had probably 2 TV channels, no internet.
All right.
So,
and he had his mod to get around on as well.
He had his scooter,
and I was like, that seems exhausting.
That's not a bad day. He probably got up and thought, I'll have a bath. Then he's gone and had his lunch. Then he's nipped to see the bird in the supermarket.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Oh, and then he's gone to pay for his suit. It's not a bad day.
That's a lot of things to do.
It's a weekend, isn't it? It's obviously a Saturday.
Which is also another thing. We'll bring that later as well. Like, I actually don't know how old these people are meant to be. How old are they meant to be?
I would say they are supposed to be sort of 18-ish.
18. All right. Okay, so let me power through these notes as well because I got a lot, and they sort of they are in timeline order, which sort of is good for us so we can get it flowing as well. Anything you want to say about the start of the movie at the moment or anything like that?
Well, I have done, haven't I?
Yeah. So why are the dicks in the bath? Yep, he's done a lot. So the house.
You know
party
it's
scene-
original though, because big bushes,
right.
isn't it? No one's manscaping back then in the 60s. Remember, it's the 60s.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. So the next scene of notes I got is when they're at the house party.
Yes, good.
So they're at the house party.
Kitchener Road. There's a party down Kitchener Road.
Kitchener Road.
We'll get there 20 minutes, half an hour on scooter.
Yeah, I laughed at that. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a long way. That's commitment. I said when he puts that song on at the party, the scene goes
Yes.
for too long. But now that I know it's actually a Who song, that makes more sense. Again, more puzzles are still fall into place.
Yeah,
as
but
we
why
go.
does he put it on?
He puts it on just to get everyone dancing, doesn't it? Distracting the girl from the guy. Is that what it was?
He's annoyed.
Yeah.
He was annoyed because he fancies,
Yeah. Yeah. And so he was hooking up with the.
and he knows if he chucks that on, everyone,
Get the party started. Yeah.
well, it'll ruin the party more than anything because, well, everyone's having a nice time. It's quite, and then you hear all the bottles smashing and the places then getting
turns
wrecked.
the lights off on the
Turns
way
the
out.
lights off.
Cheeky fucker. Add
Yeah.
that to the list. I got a list.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. But yeah, that, and then so this is when my notes taking started being a lot about how much I dislike this main character.
You don't like Jimmy?
No,
You still don't like him?
no.
Really?
Well, no. So by the end of it, it was for a reason. But I have an extensive list of things I do not like about this character.
Really?
Shit
I've
things that
never
he's done.
heard of this.
So one of them was
Most people, I'll tell you something, most people watch Quadrophenia and they go, I'm Jimmy.
all
Oh,
right.
you didn't
You need-
think that?
I hated this kid. I
Right.
wanted to smash his head in. He's
Really?
the rudest kid I've ever met in my life. Oh my god! Like, let me get to the notes, brother, because this is some
Okay, this
crazy
is
shit.
interesting. I've never heard. Everyone.
So, the party scene.
Yep,
they're all
Kitchener
partying.
Road.
Next minute, he's out in the garden doing burnouts.
Yeah,
That was one. Okay, this is pretty shit. And I've written down, what a bastard, cock blocking and making a mess of the flowers. His mates who are trying to do stuff and he's cock blocking them.
well, he's not. He's egging him on.
No, by doing burnouts and ruining all. And I've said, what an absolute rat, slamming doors when he gets home. Even when he gets home, he's slamming doors. Oh, this kid, man, he's pissed me off. I'm watching this. During this movie, where you don't understand, it went from trying to be open about this to just make just literally a list of things I'd hate about this kid.
Really?
Yeah, let me continue.
Okay. I've never thought of it in that way.
Right. So next thing I have is there's so the guy who was in the bath with, well, sharing a wall with the bath. Kev, a rocker.
Yes.
Again, there was a couple things at the start where they kept referring to him as a rocker and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I thought he looked like a rocker. And I was like, oh, so it looks like he's in a rock band. But now I know it's about the motorcycle band as well. Motorcycle group. Motorbike
Mods
gang.
and the Rockers.
So there was a prominent, meaningful scene about. So when he comes over, all right, I thought I'd just come visit. He's got some tools on the bike.
Yeah.
And rockers and not. And then that particular scene was about. It's like, well, I don't want to be like everyone else, which is really good, which is like the meaning of the whole movie, right? And then, so prominent, meaningful scene, and then it just cuts to projector scene. So when they're at work and the bosses are watching stuff, and he's a weasel making up the rules of poker. Add it to the list, baby. Add it to the goddamn
Is he
list.
making up rules?
I'm pretty sure he is. He's like, oh, who said so? Oh, I said so. And he's fucking taking shit.
Take it or leave it, mate. Take it or leave it. Here's
Exactly.
a 10 bob I owe you. I ain't having all them coins.
His ego's dishing out checks that his body can't afford, brother. He's a little weasel
He's a
rat
little-
of a man.
He's a character.
He's a weasel rat of a man. But like I said,
He's a boy.
the meaningful conversation with his mate Kevin.
Yeah.
Like literally, I was like, oh, this is the heart of the film. I don't want to be like everyone else. And
Yeah.
you know,
Which was what the mods were about.
exactly. Yeah. Let me continue.
Okay.
Okay. Next scene, when he spits gum out and puts it on a plant.
Yeah.
So add it to the list, baby.
Yeah.
And then abandons his mate with a broken mod. So his mates break
Scooter.
down and they keep going.
Oh, but they all do that.
Yeah, it was dog act.
Yeah, but
And it was at this point, so the scene where this happens and his mate gets beat up.
Kev.
Was it? No. What?
So Spider gets a good hiding.
Of course, that's his name.
Yeah.
I checked the timestamp after the scene where the mod guy surrounded and got beat up. I was so upset that there was still an hour and a half of this movie, and it took 37 minutes to get to the main point.
Well, what's the main point?
Well, at the time, I thought the point was mods versus rockers, which it sort of. But until then,
Oh, it's
I don't know if you realise, but nothing. It was, like in the story structure, there was nothing to look forward to. There was no conflict apart from being rebellious teenager. There was actually no drive.
Well, it was a scene, wasn't it? It was not a movie. It was a scene. The mods were a scene.
Well, yeah,
but it's
you don't know what's going to happen.
So it's painting a picture of.
It doesn't take 37 minutes to get up.
Oh, it did. I think it shows the music, the scooters, the boys all together.
Yeah,
that way of life.
Don't get me wrong. That's good.
The dancing,
but movie structure, you need something to. All right, what's the main point?
Well, you do, but
I'm a bit ADHD brain.
Yeah.
Next thing I wrote, so after that scene, as if those mod writing squares can beat up anything.
Well,